Every second wasted clinging to what's good enough is a second that crushes the fire burning inside. The world you live in screams at you. Be satisfied, rest, settle. But deep down, you know that's a lie. It's the same lie that keeps brilliant minds trapped, digging their own graves of mediocrity by accepting comfort and stability over relentless growth. Look, it's brutal out there. Founders, investors, leaders, they all say they want to be the best, but get stuck whining about burnout, distraction, and not having enough time. You juggle your dreams, your projects, your teams, while your heart sinks under the weight of the status quo. The system offers you a pathway with rules and limits, telling you when to stop, when to pause, and how much perfection is actually enough. But here's the brutal truth. The best, the truly extraordinary, never accept enough. They are gripped by a fire so intense, it won't allow any pause, any comfort, any rest. Why? Because they understand something the rest don't. They know that refinement isn't a final destination. It's a constant war, a war with yourself. It's waking up every day with that relentless itch and that brutal honesty that says, what I created yesterday is incomplete, flawed, weak. And then, without mercy, tearing it apart to rebuild it stronger, sharper, clearer. It's painful. It's unforgiving. But it's the only way forward. The world doesn't reward the ones who settle. The world hunts the ones who rise. You might feel isolated in this madness. The weight of constant refinement can be damn lonely when everyone around you accepts broken solutions, half-finished products, and average outcomes as the norm. But that isolation, it's the price of greatness. Because the system you're fighting is built to crush that obsession. It's designed to carve you into a mediocre shape, to force you into conformity and lukewarm ideas, to turn your potential into a bland commodity. But what if you flip the script? What if you could turn this obsession, this relentless, unyielding hunger for better, into your greatest ally, your shield, and your weapon? The kind of ally that doesn't just push you to improve, but that makes every part of your life sharper, clearer, harder to break? Because here's what most don't get. Refining isn't just obsessing over details or polishing products. It's an entire mindset, a radical way of living your truth. It's about stripping away every lie the system has fed you, about good enough, about stability, about safe bets. Look at the best founders and investors, the true leaders who shape the markets and the future. They don't just tweak their work, they remodel their whole perspective every single day. Every new insight, every failure, every success is just fuel to tear down the old and build something more real, more meaningful, more aligned with who they truly are. That's the secret no one talks about freely. Refinement is their rebellion. It's their refusal to be boxed in, labeled, or limited by anyone's definition of who they should be. You've got to be brutal when refining. Not with others, but with yourself. Strip away every comfort that dulls your edge. Challenge your assumptions relentlessly. Question everything, not just the work you do, but the systems you trust, the people you follow, the ideas you swallow blindly. If it doesn't push you forward, if it doesn't crack open new doors, it's not worth your time. This is where most crack. They get scared. They get lazy. They start defending their past work instead of attacking it. But the best? They hunt down the weak parts, the mistakes, the quiet compromises, the parts that everyone else would rather ignore. And then they reshape, rebuild, and refine until every muscle is honed to precision. Here's another truth no one wants to admit. Refining isn't glamorous. It's not about big announcements or flashy launches. Most of it happens in the quiet hours when no one is watching, when the edges feel sharp enough to cut you, when your flaws stare you down in the darkest silence, when your ego screams to stop. Those are the moments that separate the good from the great. The world only sees the winning results, not the lonely grind that made it possible. You want to unleash this power inside yourself? The first step is crushing the lie that rest will save you. Rest is necessary, sure, but never at the expense of progress. The best already know how to harness rest as fuel, not escape. They rest to sharpen the mind and body for the next attack on imperfection, not to bury their fear or avoid facing flaws. That's discipline, not tyranny. And discipline is the superpower that feeds obsession with refinement. Then, seek the edges, the uncomfortable places growth hides. Every breakthrough is found there. It's not in the crowded center where everyone agrees. It's in the ruthless questions, the challenges to sacred cows, the moments when you say no to safety and yes to uncertainty. Are you prepared to stand alone at the edge? Because that's where the few who refuse to be average live, and that's where refinement thrives. If you settle for consensus, you give up on being exceptional. Be selective with who you link your energy to. Refinement grows exponentially when you connect with those who burn just as fiercely. Not followers, not the complacent. The rare few who stare into the fire with you and say, let's forge something new. Let's refuse to stop. Synergy with those few accelerates growth beyond what anyone can do alone. Look for complementarity, not similarity. Honoring difference and contrast is the hidden power of building unstoppable teams and networks. When refinement is a shared mission, resistance crumbles. Refinement is not just about what you build externally, it's about transforming yourself internally. To move beyond the people who process their lives and ideas into someone who crafts them with intent, raw honesty, and unrelenting will. This means rethinking every thought, belief, habit that weakens you. The daily embrace of discomfort, challenge, and failure as teachers instead of enemies. The moral courage to face your dark spots, admit mistakes, and change fast. That's the hardest part, and why most give up. But for those who push through this brutal transformation, something incredible happens. They become sovereign. Their will becomes their weapon. Their clarity becomes their compass. They no longer drift or react. They act with brutal purpose. This is where refinement turns from obsession into liberation, because you stop being a prisoner to systems, opinions, or old narratives. You own your path, and the constant refinement is your forge. Make no mistake. This obsession will demand sacrifices. You'll lose sleep, friendships may fray, doubts will haunt you. But those sacrifices are real investments. Investments in a rare kind of freedom, the freedom to become who you were meant to be before the world told you to shrink. To create what's next, you must first burn what was before. Refinement is the fire, and from its ashes rise those who refuse to be average. Don't wait for permission from the crowd or clarity from the system. That will never come. Only the restless, the hungry, the few who burn with obsession will find their way out. You are not made for average. You are not meant for borrowed life. Reality is malleable. Refinement is the key to shape it. Every failure, every challenge, every late night is a brick in the fortress you are building around your vision. Keep refining. Keep questioning. Keep tearing down your work and rebuilding it stronger. Because the moment you stop, the moment you accept the comfort they offer, you become a prisoner. But if you stay obsessed, you become unstoppable. You become the edge. The future belongs to those who do not rest until they break every limit. The system has no answer for you. It forgot you long ago. But look around. There are others like you. Scattered, rare, powerful when united. Seek them. Connect with them. Together, refine a world that rewards brilliance, courage, and relentless becoming. This obsession with constant refinement is the revolution. It's not just a habit, it's a way of life. Embrace it or fall into the trap of ease. The choice is yours, but those who seize this fire will remake the future in their image. No advice, no quick fixes, just one truth. Refine until no weakness remains. Question until nothing is sacred. Burn what holds you back and build what only you can imagine. This is how the best become legends. This is how the next era will be born. Get ready, the fire never stops.